Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Voice of place you're calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show of people. Believe our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. Love, respect, and selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that we feel happen like I got blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Get up, make every day count up. Wasted people, do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in from work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till time calling? It's a show, it no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, WB. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show of people. Believe our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. Love, respect, and selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that we feel happen like I got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling, WB.
Good morning, Belize. Welcome to the Tuesday morning edition of the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Tuesday, the 25th of June, 2024. Wherever you are, we hope your morning is getting off to a beautiful start. I'm Mose, Hyde. Give thanks. We love that you've linked with us. You've joined on either Creme Radio or XTV or via our apps or via social media streams or simulcast coverage. It's great having you on board. We've got another morning of conversation stored up for you inside Belize's premier morning conversation. We hope that you are with great health this morning, high energy levels, your vibrations are positive, and that your morning is flexible and it will allow you to be not only a viewer or listener, but a participant. We desire participants. You want to could join with, could reason with, talk with, etc., etc. Before we get to that point, we've got to get the morning preliminaries, which means we get your morning news update. We've got that ready to serve. We also got your morning forecast from the National Meteorological Service. And we turn to the forecast to find out what today looks like. Courtesy forecaster Francisco Wellington.
Good morning. Moist and unstable conditions will support cloudy skies with sunny breaks today and cloudy skies tonight. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated this morning, then will increase slightly over inland areas this afternoon and the south tonight. In the outlook, a few showers and isolated thunderstorms will affect most areas Wednesday morning and then mainly the south Wednesday night. Winds today along the coast and over the open seas will blow from the east and southeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be light chop. Low tides will occur at 5:44 this morning and 7:25 tonight. High tides follow at 11:58 this morning and 1:38 tomorrow morning. Temperatures this afternoon will peak at 81 Fahrenheit up in the Maya Mountains, 90 along the coast and 95 inland. The moon will set at 8:49 this morning and sunset is at 6:30 this evening. In the sarcasm forecast, latest satellite imagery suggests a significant decrease in sarcasm over the past few days. However, a few more mats could drift in occasionally over the next week. And that's the latest from the Belize Weather Bureau. Do have a pleasant day.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
Operates in Belize City as one of about 5 to 10 operators has lawyered up to challenge the proposal from the Belize City Council for the administration and operation of 2 electric buses. Those are the EVs, which were obtained through grant funding from the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. City Shuttle Limited is owned by Philip Jones, and yesterday at the Biltmore he sat beside his attorney Artis Haldiva, who laid out the situation he says they're facing.
The mayor has coined an initiative called PPP, Public-Private Partnership. But in this public-private partnership that he is seeking to introduce, he is dictating to the private sector players that they are to give up 51% of their holdings in their companies in order to participate. It's a bald-faced attempt to do by means of economic disadvantage, strong arm from small operators and large that which they have invested their life's blood and experience in the case of City Shuttle Limited, more than 35 years in developing an industry. The olive branch, however, is still being extended to both the UNDP and the Belize City Council to come to the table responsibly and maturely to address what certainly is something that should be troubling to any Belizean citizen, especially those in the city.
The company is making the allegation that the council wants to take the operators out of business by cherry-picking the most lucrative routes and is acting outside its mandate. They say 18 families who depend on City Shuttle will be impacted.
The main issue is that the regulator entering into the field and competing against those who have been developing the industry would have the unfair advantage of picking and cherry-picking routes, which means then you're basically undermining the profitability of those entities that were providing the service from time immemorial. This is not a new cry that have been made to the authorities. In fact, from the time the germ was planted of introducing EV buses into the city, which I believe occurred some 2 years ago in 2022, City Shuttle Limited had been in communication with both the UNDP and the Belize City Council, trying to get an audience to have its concerns be put on the table for mature discussion and resolution, only to be denied that opportunity and instead have presentation after presentation where the UNDP and the Belize City Council dictated to them and others what was to happen. No dialogue, no negotiation. So you're using donor funds to create an unfair advantage through which you're now going to subjugate those who have been in this industry, developing it, and relying on it for their livelihood from as long as they can remember. You're taking now the route that was established by these private sector players, for which they're already operating on a very fine margin when it comes to service and profit from the service that's being provided. But you're telling them, we're going to take this out from you now, and the city council, who is getting its it's electrical supply now, so it's you have the advantage of an electrical vehicle. The other providers will still be using gasoline or diesel, which they will have to pay premium prices for at the pumps in order to carry out the service that they normally provide. But they will not now have those routes that they generate the majority of their finances from to depend on. So you're basically putting it to them that when we roll out these EVs, either you join us and have whatever we decide to give you, or you go out of business totally.
Saldiva also reported yesterday that the road service permit was being obtained in the name of Neil Hall, the council's e-transit project coordinator. They provided a copy of the Gazette in which the Transport Board was notifying of a meeting with the Hall on February 14 this year to consider a run for Hall. The Department of Transport has since clarified that the name was an oversight and the permit is actually in the name of the council. We were also told that the buses are the property of the government of Belize. Both the mayor and Hall made themselves available for questions in the afternoon. The mayor told us that the current operators will not be displaced from the routes and that upon the bus owner's request, the fare on the e-buses will be $3 as opposed to the $2 currently charged by existing operators. He added that the bus owner is getting ahead of themselves as the pilot will start on July 19th and last for 1 year.
All of these information you gather during this pilot project, and so that will now inform investors, right? Because then investors will need to have the ability to now go to their financiers, but they will require data, and so the financiers will then look at the model and say, okay, the financial model shows that it could work in the city, that you have the amount of runs, people are gravitating towards the project and they are satisfied with the project. The people like the sort of amenities that the project provides in terms of comfort, in terms of contributing to the lowering of greenhouse gases, less pollution, less noise pollution, all of those things is what will drive scaling up. And so I was a bit disturbed when I heard this ruckus being created by City Shuttle, and I quickly want to but I have Neil. Neil will elaborate on some of the, but one of the key untruths that was glaring, in my view, is that the attorney, who, by the way, if I were my boss owner, at least I would have wanted to say something if I have a vested interest in my boss, and if I have equity in my boss, I would have wanted to say something. But the point is that inclusion has always been one of our main concern here at City Hall. We were selected to really manage the day-to-day operation of the project, and we have stood in meetings after meetings with those bus owners, the bus operators, and he will elaborate more on those meetings. Just last week, I had a meeting with City Shuttle and the other counterparts just last week, right?
Paul explained that they have not finalized any aspect of what will happen after the pilot project concludes.
But even if you're running at $3 with a nicer bus, if you're running on the same route, it means that they will be impacted because some people will
have a choice. Residents will have a choice. I have to serve my residents of Belize City with all the zeal I have.
But are you
I'm not concerned.
Business because they have inferior buses?
No, that's far from the point. This is a pilot project, Marisol. It's a pilot project, and I have a duty as a mayor and as a council, have a duty to ensure that the quality of life for our residents is our number one priority. I can't be concerned about 15 families. I have to concern about 60,000 residents of my city. That is my main concern.
They started off their press briefing with us saying that for them to be a part of this, they will need to surrender 51% of their businesses. Nothing is further from the truth. At no time has anyone ever even hinted, stated, I don't know what the word would be, that they would need to forego 51% of their businesses to be a part of this, because they are a part of it already for free.
In what sense?
In the sense that they will be able to use this. The second part that came out was when Mr. Saldiva, the attorney, stated that it is difficult in this day and age for them to get financing for the purchase of new buses and for them to upgrade their buses. The data that will be collected from this pilot project will be the data that will then be able to be used to go to your DFC, your Belize Bank, your National, your Heritage, pick your loaning agency and show them this works, this is how profits come in. By us getting a loan through you to buy our own electric bus, we will be able to replicate this and we will then be able to move forward. That's what this pilot project is all about, to show the efficacy of electric buses in Belize. Because again, let's say these buses don't work. Let's say for some reason that in Belize, it's just not the way to go. Are any of these bus operators willing to take that investment on their own to lose that, possibly lose that money, just to say, well, I tried? No. And that's why the EU, the UNDP, the government of Belize is seeing it fit to allow us to do so, for us to take that risk, that gamble, and for us to then have the information to share, not only within ourselves, but with them, so that they can then use that information to go in and upgrade their systems, their buses, their whatever, and everything else for their own selves.
The council official say they hope the operators in the city can get on board with the overall plan of providing a cleaner and upgraded bus service in the city. As part of the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit organized by the Belize American Chamber of Commerce in Los Angeles, California last week, the organizers shared a pre-recorded message from Vanessa Jenkins Young, mother of Carver Young, who after 3 nominations this year won a Tony Award for Best Performance by an Actress in a featured role in a play. She was nominated this year for her performance in the show Pearly Victorious. Vanessa Jenkins explained that she migrated in the U.S. in 1980 out of love for her husband, Clay Young. They have been married for over 4 decades and have 2 children. Jenkins is a former Queen of the Babe. She was born in Belize City and was raised in Queen Square. She spoke about the importance of having a small network of family and friends in the U.S. that assisted her and her family during the transition and after. She is now an instrumental part of an organization that gives back meaningfully to Belize.
I worked in healthcare for 33 years. First 10 years as a physical therapist, and then the last 23 in hospital administration. Throughout my healthcare, I've served and advocated for people with disabilities. For many, many years, my support of Belize was basically through supporting fundraising here in organization. But in 2010, I had the opportunity to elevate and make my contribution a little more meaningful to my country. We were in Miami at one of those Florida organizations barbecue when Bala Leslie and Debbie Atkins, and please let's keep Debbie in our prayers, And they told us that they had thousands of monitors, but no strips to go along with the monitors. And so some of my friends and I, we said, well, we'll have a fundraiser here in New York, and we'll help support that. And we did, and it was very successful. I think we raised about $3,000, and all of that went into strips, and we took it back to the Belize Diabetes Association. But out of that, my friends and we were like, well, we should form an organization, and we did. And so from 2010 to 2023, the Belize Diabetes Association of New York has contributed more than monitors and strips. That's just part of our plan. We've also sponsored the juvenile diabetes camp, and we make annual donations to the organization. But our main purpose and mission was to have an educational model. And so we did that by having annual missions to Belize. And we focus on stress management, diet and nutrition, exercises, lifestyle modification, especially stop drinking those Coke in the morning. And they'll tell you, we know we have diabetes, but we just have to get that Coke. Medication management, among other things. This year, we changed our name to the Belize Diabetes Heart and Stroke Association of New York, BIDSANI. So from BDNY, we're now BIDSANI, to include the other two non-communicable diseases, which contribute so greatly to mortality and morbidity in our country.
On Friday, 4 persons were rescued after their boat capsized off the coastline of Ambergris Key in the Belize district. Alfredo Rubio of Tropical Wind Tours had spotted the individuals in the water and contacted Abner Bakab of Island Emergency Services. Bakab, Rubio, and Tyrone Young went into action and were able to rescue the 4 individuals, 2 Belizeans and 2 tourists. Bakab spoke of the rescue.
I received a call on our emergency line about a boat that had turned over outside of the reef. Fortunate for them, there was a person that was passing by chance. Like I said, fortunate for them, his name is Alfredo Rubio from Tropical Wind Tours, and he was the one that contacted me. If it hadn't been for him, then nobody would have known what was happening. So he immediately contacted me around 3 p.m. and he said, the boat turned over. I see the people, they were adrift. So it was myself, Abner Bakab, and Tyrone Young that responded. So the person came to look for us at the dock, and we proceeded to go to where the location was. The location is called Toffee Channel. That's where boats come in and coming outside of the reef. We saw somebody in the water. We found the first person. We put the person on board. He was very tired, basically weak, and just tired of being trying to keep afloat for an hour. That's a long time. So then right after that, we saw the other 3 persons. We brought them on board. Again, they were tired, exhausted. I make sure that I check out their vitals. There was 2 locals and 2 tourists. 2 male locals and 1 female tourist and a male. So the main concern was the female. She was suffering from hypothermia. She was very weak. She was tired, exhausted. We check out her vitals, put her on oxygen, put a temperature blanket on her to control her temperature. And then we proceeded to transport them to a dock here in San Pedro.
After stabilizing the individuals on the dock, Island Emergency Services transported the individuals to a hospital on the island for further treatment. Bakab reminds seafarers to take heed of weather-related warnings and to have proper medical supplies on board in case of emergencies.
Respect the weather, respect the high seas. They give in the morning an update that it's gonna be rough, a couple waves that are gonna be higher than normal. It's best to cancel or to put another time to the tour rather than go there trying to make some money and then you end up losing more than just what the cost of the tour is. So definitely recommend the tour operators to heed to the warnings from the weather service. So again, it's always good to have life jackets on board our boats, a good first aid kit, oxygen, and give maintenance to your boat, your vessels. So they'll be working when you most need them also. Again, you say it's not the first time we do a rescue out at sea. It has been a couple times now that they have called upon us. And our company's emergency 24 hours line is actually 226-2911, 226-2912, 226-2913, and then my personal phone number, which is 615-2998.
And that ends our morning news update. We take a break now. When we come back on the other side, we're going to lift off our conversation. You are listening to Creme Radio. You're watching XTV. We'll be right back.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. The news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports.
Atlantic Bank is an institution with more than 50 years of experience in partnership with Belizeans. We have been lending to all industries. We have been investing in the growth and development of Belize. We are proud to introduce Atlantic Bank's micro, small, and medium enterprise loan program, the perfect solution to grow and enhance your small business. Let Atlantic Bank be your partner in making your small business dreams come true. Call us or visit any of our branches countrywide today to find out more about Atlantic Bank's micro, small, and medium enterprise loan program. We will talk you through your options and find the best financial fit for you and your business. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Babe, I'm going out to pay the water bill.
You don't need to go out. You could pay it from your phone. Look.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Atlantic Bank is an institution with more than 50 years of experience in partnership with Belizeans. We have been lending to all industries. We have been investing in the growth and development of Belize. We are proud to introduce Atlantic Bank's micro, small, and medium enterprise loan program, the perfect solution to grow and enhance your small business. Let Atlantic Bank be your partner in making your small business dreams come true. Call us or visit any of our branches countrywide today to find out more about Atlantic Bank's micro, small, and medium enterprise loan program. We will talk you through your options and find the best financial fit for you and your business. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
All right, welcome back. This is WB Wake Up Believes Morning Vibes on this Tuesday morning, the 25th of June, 2024. Mose Hyde hosting this morning. Sister Katie is still under the weather. Hopefully, she is able to get well very soon, get her strength and health back to 100. In the meantime, we got to continue with the morning conversation. We know that you have your part to play. We expect to be joined very shortly by Sister Yaya Mervyn Coleman, who's going to sit in a bit to help out with the conversation from our side. I am presently in United States. That's how we say it, right? The United States of America. United States. I'm still in Los Angeles. But because of technology, I'm able to still coordinate and be on WB. And more importantly for you is that we can still access your call, just not at the number that you're familiar with. You need to just use WhatsApp, and it makes it very easy for you to be able to just give me a call and join in the conversation. We love when we get to hear from you. And so you can call us WhatsApp 672 4770. So not because we're in the studio mean that you're hesitant to call, because nothing changed. I could hear you, you could hear me, and everybody where they listen and watch could hear 2 of it. So it works. So just utilize the line and not make nobody feel like we're going to give one sermon. I don't want to give a sermon. This is all about having a conversation with you. You know how it works. Wake Up Believes Morning Vibes, weekday mornings. And we are a caller-driven, participation formatted morning show. And so you have to do your part. All right, so that's how it works. Remember, we don't use the number that we have in the studio. You have to call me direct WhatsApp 672 4770. That's how you line up and be a part of the conversation. Obviously, coming out of the weekend, most of what has been reported in the news has been either somebody being killed, somebody being shot at, even to the point where a police station was shot at in Roaring Creek. So a very troubling weekend, which is not new to us. We are very accustomed. We have almost normalized these events, and we have said this before. And one of the things that's a natural human tendency. It doesn't matter how bad things get, even in wartime, in war conditions, that's what human beings do. To preserve stability and or just our own mental wellness and survival, we normalize things even when they're really bad. And you could just, an interesting exercise, one that I would do from time to time, either because I'm looking for something. Greetings, Sister Yaya. Thank you. I hear that you need special invitation. So, yes. But I'm not hearing you, but please put on your mic.
Morning. I stretch out in my bed, turn on WB. I'm like, okay, now who was there this morning?
Yeah, I should have reached out to you last night when I got yesterday afternoon, actually. Sister Katie said that she would not be unable to make it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Where they are. The tailor protective hairstyle, look at it, run. But good things to say.
Yes, I'm a debout a little bit. You know, there are states, you're debout. So I'm a debout. Yes, I'm a debout. Actually, I want to big up Beijing. Actually, Sir Andy's son, Roger Anderson, come by and they came me the Brazil Costa Rica football game.
Oh.
That's there's which is you don't turn that down.
Of course not. Of course not.
You do not turn that down, and so give thanks for that experience. I'd never seen the famous yellow jersey of Brazil
Brazil.
football in person,
Yes.
and well, while iconic 5-time winning Brazil, respect. I'm there with my region, so obviously the stadium is full of pure Brazil fans. So I don't like how they ride, like ride and they make noise. It was not like that. I'm not a Costa Rican, but I did, yeah, well, only Costa Rica did well, and they did well. They managed a draw with Great Brazil, and their fans were like ecstatic about gaining a point off Brazil, and they were just dancing and singing after the game. It's crazy to be in a stadium. Like there was almost 70,000 people in the stadium, and I'm like, my goodness, this is the population of Belize City right here. Right here.
Texas like said that though.
I'd never been in a stadium. I'd never been in a place where there were so many people at one time. Never. And it was a thing. It was yeah, I really give thanks. It was in person. Yeah, I mean, no goals were scored, but mine, it was extremely entertaining. Like I could have watched another 90 minutes of that. It's extremely entertaining to see in person. Yeah, so I give thanks for that experience. Very, very fortunate and privileged to have received such a generous treatment. So salute to that. So to make you know, what I make you know is that I was not extremely focused yesterday evening.
You should be just focused on where you focus on. That's the time for focus on that.
Yeah, I never focused on WUB yesterday evening. I was like, nah, so I never reach out to you. So I publicly to tell you that I'm guilty of negligence.
That's okay.
But usually I can get away with that with you because you are perpetually in a proactive state. So usually you pop me and text and say, checking if Sister Katie is ready because I'm available. That's your standard energy level, right? So and it's not that I can fault you for not, because that's what you would call, that's a gift, really.
Yes.
It's a favor to be in that mode. So it's the responsibility is mine. So, but I'm glad for Sio, to be honest.
Yes.
Get the energy of two rather than one. And I want to remind folks that they can call in. That's the purpose of doing all of this. The purpose of making sure that no matter what, even when there are states, and even when a host is unable to come in for whatever reason, we got to be here, not because we have to talk. We have to be here because we have to always have, as best we can, be able to come and make sure that people can have access to join in the conversation. So, that's not because I so full of eagerness this morning for the WUB, right? I feel a responsibility, which is good, but I can't lie and say, oh man, I can't wait for come on this morning. It's like, But the thing is that we have to be here to make sure that people have the access. So with that said, I want you all to feel a little bit of pressure to really join in. And I also wanna say this, that it's an important thing, like for you to really utilize the space to the fullest. Like I know that people turn on the TV and they see you zoom in. It's not the same like when we were in studio, Sister Yaya. Just to put that to you, but it still functions the same. So we really want your deal with it and jump in. I was just, when you were joining in, Sister Yaya, making the point. I don't know if you have done it, but from time to time I would, ask the chairman, Mr. X Hyde, to go through some of the old Mandela files. For whatever reason, I would be looking for a particular story or information, and I hope one day we are able to get all of that digitally available, because it's a great resource. It's a great thing to see certain things go over, and to see what it's kind of like going like a time machine. And so you would go and see how much ink and how much energy would happen when somebody got killed in the 80s. So when somebody got killed or shot in the 80s, it was huge news, right? It would sometimes make the headlines, very often make the front page. It would be a big thing, right? In the early days of WUB, if we had a weekend like the one that we had, the show would be inundated with calls, just completely concerned and agitated and bothered about the kind of news you experience. And unbelievable to me before I got into corporate America mode, I was thinking, man, we had a full conversation this morning, and there was no mention of the fact that things were so bad this weekend that the police station itself got shut up, and a police officer was there and narrowly escaped being injured. I think there should have even 9 or 10 shots were fired on this police station in Roaring Creek. And unfortunately, but naturally, we have normalized this kind of reality that we live in. But not because we are able to normalize it means that it's normal. You go back and you check the news, and I read the news. If you're in this space, you end up very often reading the morning news. So I'm reading through the news, and I will go back and read through it just to make you understand what the experience was. I guess for the sake of making the news compact, there's not a lot of details. There's 2 men riding on this street and they were shot. This vehicle driving in this area right up the street from us, and the back of the vehicle got shut up. The passenger and the driver tried to make it to the hospital. The driver is able to get there in time to save his life. The passenger succumbs. Then there is I don't want. So there was another this person over here, they got shot, and then out in Roaring Creek there's this somebody just shut up a police station. This is all in one single morning news update within a 15-minute point of reading. I am covering violence and carnage all over the place. And we go along because this is what we have to do. So I am not judging the fact that we have normalized it. I'm just commenting on the fact so that we understand how we get there, and that even as media, even as a talk show host, you get to a point where it's not even, you get here, and I promise myself, I promise publicly to say, listen, I will be intentional. We're not going to ignore and not speak to this, because that essentially supports the normalization. When we don't, like I said, when you go back in the files, you realize you go back into the WUB, like yesterday morning would have been a full-scale conversation on everything that happened over the weekend. We would be looking at these lives, like not even the we hear names now, like we get a name. We don't, nobody's saying, well, nothing about the names, just a name, just somebody dropped, that's it, story done, they dropped. I think in one instance, there was like two gentlemen who were my age. So we're not even talking about people who are, you know, but how they have it. There was like two, like 50-year-old, like one was 50, one was above like 53, 54, and they were riding and they were shot up. I'm just saying how, when you really look at it, to take a pause and realize that all that happened and very little was said in its aftermath. Very little observation. My goodness, this is madness, and so that's where I was going to start, to be intentional as not to, you know, to fight back against the normalization within myself, really, to speak on it, so that, you know, I can push back against the natural tendency to do that, to say, reach a point where, how many mornings have I not spoken about this? How many mornings have we not had this conversation? How many mornings have we? But I feel that it's not so much as to have pointless conversations about it. It's not to have those who have been killed and injured become just statistics, not even worthy of us expressing how sad that is, as human beings, that we have lost individuals. We don't know their journeys, but their journeys came to an abrupt conclusion. So while I might have been able to still have breath and life, I could have gone and done something which I'd never done before, to watch a game which was so enjoyable to me, because I still have life, and these individuals didn't make it through the weekend. And just to recognize that part of this beautiful place that we call home is one of the truly saddest aspects of our reality.
I hear you, Mose, and the truth is that the culture of violence has been normalized locally. And so when indeed, we even talked about the police yesterday, and the police station get shut up, still never come up for neither one away. And I appreciate you bringing that as a part of the public conversation, that we have normalized the culture of violence, and we tend to think of violence only when, like, the, you know, blood come. But the culture of violence is not only that, because when you have people who don't have access to the most basic of life, food, clothing, and shelter, people, they beg on TV for health care, and then they just go away, we not sit there again, and they suffer till they're dead, till we see one death announcements. That's a violence. When you don't have one living wage, are you really indifferent to how people eat that's a violence. But we tend to be more mindful when the blood and, but it's a culture of violence that we've normalized. Like, we take it for granted, you know, like really leave it away, we get up, you know, they live paycheck to paycheck, or, you know, that 1%, the predatory class. Don't like we think day to day how other people live. And our life, like, I ask myself, Mose, how could people not become violent? Like, there are war for live every day. From you born, you never ask for born, depending for your spiritual knowing, in our family, and that we did like third or fourth generation of impoverishment and suffering. And there's only so much I could blame on the individual when the system and systems are designed this way, Mose. When I meet impoverished people and they still, you know, they laugh, I'm like, oh, like, you know what, to live that way every single day, Mose? You live so, your mom lives so, your granny lives so, and all of them living in the same yard. When they got children, it's natural. And I'm like, if we do not get up on war for live, we know I'm dead. That's violent. Most nobody should live so. So then when the brother, you know, and get pushed out of school, and then that road, nobody not born for one live their life there. And we tend to want to blame the youth, and the youth and a level of blame, yes. But the majority are blamed upon the systems and the people who are poor and brothers and sisters. You think them brother want live? Well, sisters involved too, you know. Some, you know, they all like sisters not involved, but with 10% of brother. You think them brother want live, sir? You think any human being want live, sir? I don't know how I want to do it. That's the primary reason why I'm not an active journalist, because I cannot do the violence. I would ask myself, how no? Like, what the few times I go to WB and I have to read the news, I'm like, I want to read this. I don't know how I want to do it. Like, I can't, I don't do it because it's hard for I process it in my being. They're not just one person. I carry it and it's too heavy for my being. And so that's why I don't watch the new traditional news like anymore. I don't. I hear other people say that too. That has become normalized, not watching the traditional news, because it's heavy on people. So you look for the transcript or you choose where you want to watch by WhatsApp, because it's just, but that not change the fact that it get worse around. First at the hospital, now that the police station, they used to hold Belize lead football game that the size of Belize City, the people in this. So where, the one with head for Mose? The way happened.
Well, I think the important, I hear the point you're making, and just to provoke that, even though it's traumatizing, to go there, because obviously there's an impact on you to even reach a point where you offer your honest thoughts on it, describing it analytically and its roots, and going there and explaining the culture of violence that does exist. It's the very kind of conversation that has been abandoned in the face of what has happened. So I don't raise the issue of these as some kind of, in any energy of wanting to categorize or judge the actors of it. It's to look at our space, and I agree with you that there is all different types of violence, and the system itself is ultimately violent, and that every day there are people experiencing violence, suckling children experiencing violence, at all levels. The point is that at what expense do we start to now not even have these conversations, as uncomfortable as they are? Even if somebody has a different opinion, even if somebody's response is different, even if their analysis and their prescription is different, the fact is that we cannot refuse or to reach a space in ourselves where we are not even moved to have these honest conversations, even if they're conversations of disagreement. We still are feeling it. I might have a different prescription than you, I might have a different response than you, but what is for sure is that what is happening is having the impact on me, the level of discomfort that the other person is having, the level of discomfort, the level of trauma, the level of internal disturbance. It's not to say, you're not supposed to protect your well-being. Yes, we understand that, we do. You're right. People say, well, okay, I'm a tune out from that. I don't want to know. I don't want to see any more bodies on the streets. I don't want to see any more blood. And indeed, blood is a major part of what is covered in the news. And reading it is like you become a prisoner to your profession in a sense, because you would say, well, you would say, what would it be like if we did not have that as a part of the news, and we did not report that people were brutally slain, and it's like, I think it's the way it's done at times, where it's just done to create to create entertainment. Um, to an extent, it is for some. It's like if you are a long distance away from that reality because of your position and privilege, or just because geographically you are completely removed from where something has happened, you watch that and it's captivating to you. To some it is truly captivating to conk bodies, to see people in their pain. Um, is it that if you are not moved and motivated to do better for your community, to have deep thoughts about your community, then it really is nothing more than you watch it because it's entertaining to you. I can't see no other reason. It's just you it's like somebody watching a horror movie. It's like you watch a horror movie and you have the experience of seeing all the macabre, all the bad stuff of a horror movie, and then when you shut it off, you have been entertained by going into this scary place, and it's good. I'm back to my regular life. So for people who that's not their reality, there is no safe distance between them, either mentally or physically, then the news is not something that is there for a kind of a scary experience, to see a body, to see who is the notorious, to see who we have as the bad guy, some kind of like fascination with that, because people do have a fascination with that. If you look at what we love in entertainment, we love that. We love watching a Western movie with the outlaw and the sheriff and the bad guy and the good guy and the robber and the killer, and we watch action movies that are the same, and we do have a fascination with it. And if it's all about that fascination, then that's, in my view, not to be judgmental, but that's a very undesirable thing. Let me put it as kind as there's a very undesirable thing to be experiencing other people's terror as if though it is something that just causes mental stimulation or entertainment for us. So that's not the point of talking about it. The point of talking about it is that, and acknowledging it, is that to some extent we don't make these realities invisible. Because I think that's the other extreme, that we make it invisible. It all becomes invisible, even at that level. Yes, other forms, non-blood violence is invisible. That has already been made invisible. You reach a point where even now the highest form of violence becomes invisible, because it's no longer something that even you spend any time even acknowledging and facing and confronting by conversation. And so that's what I felt the need to be intentional about, saying, wow, this is our experience here. I do have to, you can comment when we get back. I do have to go to 2 Cents Scam. It's 7:40, and I want to remind you folks that there is a number for you to call. We are not trying to monopolize the conversation. In fact, quite the opposite. We are trying to promote a conversation and promote participation. We have 2 Cents Scam at this point in time. 4 Point Security is the sponsor. We go to 2 Cents Scam, we take a break, we come back. This is Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, the Zoom virtual edition of it. This is the WUB in Sunday review mode. Sister Yaya, Mose with you, making sure that the conversation space continues. We'll be right back.
You're watching WB and this is XTV and they don't know Lapsa Fest to come up. So the people they have different location when they're going. They could be either San Pedro, Kikaka or Placencia. I want to find out the people in 2 cents and how serious they take this Lapsa Fest for 2024. Lapsa Fest to come up, my friend, what are your 2 cents, okay? Placencia, Kikaka and San Pedro. If you figure which one you go?
I don't go out on anything there.
You don't go to Lapsa Fest?
No.
You don't take holiday?
No.
You work every day?
That's right.
That you 2 cents?
Yes.
The about Lapsa Fest to come up. Lapsa Fest to come up. Kikaka, San Pedro, Placencia. Huh?
I don't follow that stuff, then.
You see?
That more important stuff than what happened at the city.
So you don't have time to worry about no Lapsa Fest?
No, none of that. I'm more focused on more important stuff. Right now, people don't realize we're on the brink of World War III or nuclear war. So they prepare for that. It's not happening right now, but sometime next year. Next couple of years, then.
That you're too saying?
Yeah.
Lapsa Fest to come up. Kikaka, San Pedro, and Placencia. Which one are you see yourself to go?
Well, I don't know, ain't no party like my party, because my party never stop. So I see myself, they go from Kikaka to San Pedro, from San Pedro to Kikaka, from Kikaka must to Placencia, because that's how we party.
Yeah, you're 2 cents.
Yes, sir, you don't know.
Why you don't see yourself for Lapsa Fest? Put some joy on your face. Placencia, Kikaka, or San Pedro?
I don't want any tree, and I got a tree and an abashment. I don't want Placencia, I don't want Kikaka, and I don't want San Pedro for Lapsa Fest, because I don't know that straight bashment.
That you're 2 cents?
Yeah, crazy.
All right, this Lapsa Fest to come up, why you see yourself to go Placencia, Kikaka, or San Pedro, if you feel the touchdown on one of them?
Well, I like Fire Island.
Yeah.
And that's Kikaka.
Yeah.
I love the Kikaka. It's more like native, you know?
Yeah.
You know, all that commercial.
Okay.
So that's my home key.
Kikaka.
Yes, man.
That's why you don't see yourself for the Lapsa.
Yes, man.
Yeah, you're 2 cents.
Right on the split.
I'll let you that.
I
I'll
like
Kikaka. I like Kikaka.
That's why you see yourself to go?
Yes, Kikaka.
That you're 2 cents.
Yes, Kikaka. With my 2 piece.
All right. I'm the Lapsa Fest. 2 cents question a day. Placencia, San Pedro, or Kikaka?
Kikaka.
Why Kikaka?
Because I have friends out there who I take as family, and I prefer go there, go spend a Lapsa Fest there, knowing that I know I'll have a good time with there. And the island easy for get around, and I've been to live on the island before, so.
Oh, so you know it?
Home, yeah.
So you went back home?
Yes, for Lapsa Fest.
That you're 2 cents?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one you not go?
San Pedro.
San Pedro?
Yeah.
So, say question of the day. If you forgot a Lapsa Fest, Placencia, Kikaka, or San Pedro, which one you not go?
I don't go to Placencia.
Why Placencia?
Because like the outskirts is nicer.
That's why you go to Placencia?
Yeah.
That you're 2 cents.
That's my 2 cents.
¿Entiende español? ¿Entiende Spanish? Sí. Sí. All right. 2 cents question of the day. Come.
Brothers Abet is celebrating Super Handy Dads for the entire month of June with super handy deals that just can't be beaten. Give that super handy dad the perfect gift from our super selection, like 15% off all power tools and hand tools store-wide, 15% off track car batteries, 20% off Eureka Vats, 20% off Decon Matte Emulsion, and 25% off Valspar and Dutch Boy paints. Plus, for every $50 you spend, get a chance to win $500 worth of tools for 3 super special dads. So give dad his best Father's Day gift yet from Brothers Abet. Come in or reach out to us today. Brothers Abet wishes all super handy dads a super happy Father's Day.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey
there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning-fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a Lone Ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
No, I can't let this plan. I can't let this plan.
Atlantic Bank is an institution with more than 50 years of experience in partnership with Belizeans. We have been lending to all industries. We have been investing in the growth and development of Belize. We are proud to introduce Atlantic Bank's micro, small, and medium enterprise loan program, the perfect solution to grow and enhance your small business. Let Atlantic Bank be your partner in making your small business dreams come true. Call us or visit any of our branches countrywide today to find out more about Atlantic Bank's micro, small, and medium enterprise loan program. We will talk you through your options and find the best financial fit for you and your business. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Make light work lighter and quicker with Switch technology from Axi Power Tools. Axi Switch technology breaks the bondage of power cords and grants you the luxury of freedom and precision. Switch one battery across all your Axi line power tools effortlessly, allowing for quick and efficient work. Cut the cords. Choose efficiency with Axi Switch technology. Only at Benny's. Quality and savings.
The Office of the Prime Minister invites you to the National MSME Roadshow 2024. Join us for free workshops in marketing using AI, finance, business planning, and customer service. Connect with financial institutions for access to finance opportunities, meet with key government agencies, and showcase your business at the Roadshow Expo in an effort to get more locals to buy Belizean. We will be in Orange Walk Town, June 13th to the 15th, PG, June 27th to the 29th, Corozal, July 11th to the 13th, Benke, July 25th to the 27th, San Pedro, August 15th to the 17th, Keycocker, August 23rd to the 24th, Pelmopan, August 29th to the 31st, Hopkins, September 13th to the 14th, San Ignacio, September 26th to the 28th, Tangriga, October 10th to the 12th, Placencia, October 18th to the 19th, and Belize City, October 24th to the 26th. Sign up today for the National MSME Roadshow. For more information, follow us on Facebook at Beltrade or call us at 880-3737. Sign up today for the National MSME Roadshow. Let's get your business on the road.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
All right, welcome back to WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, Tuesday morning, 25th of June 2024. Mose Hyde, joined this morning by Sister Yaya Marine Coleman. Sister Katie Usher is still under the weather, and so we have to go to our super sub. Sister Yaya is in the house. The telephone number for you to join the conversation is my WhatsApp number, 672-4770. No left we are without your participation. That's the main reason why we do this. So jump in and give us your thoughts. And this doesn't have to be where we talk about. You could come with your own energy. And even though we are not in studio, we come virtually, that still not stop the phone call. We could hear you, you could hear we, and everybody will tune in, the listener and watch could hear all the way. So you not got no excuse. Not because, yes.
I get that text just now make me day.
Yes.
One of my Guyanese brother, what I'm professor at one university on the East Coast, text and say, great discussion on violence, sister. You're right about turning off the news. I do it often because, as Bob Marley say, everywhere is war and of course violence. And if I know the brother tuning into WB, he was a guest on Sunday Review several times. So I am just like, man, the internet it have a use. It make a difference.
Okay. We have on call. WB, good morning.
Good morning, Mose and Yaya. Renee here once again, and I thank you so much for the opportunity to join your conversation. I'm recalling as I listened to your discussion the days when I used to report and go to Raccoon Street to attend these press conferences where we would be given the breakdown for the occurrences. And there was at that time a senior officer who used to chastise the media for sensationalizing violence, and we couldn't convince that it wasn't sensationalism. Of course, media is business, and also it is we were doing our jobs. But we have gone from that, and I use sensationalism in quotes, to normalizing true. And for that reason, that many have tuned out, especially those of us who live away from home, have not watched the news, because yesterday, for the first time in a long time, I watched the news on XTV, and it was too much. It was too much that you have to, I guess it happens with age, that you choose what you ingest mentally and physically, and it was too much. I said, looking at the entire country of Belize, you could take Belize and put in one of the boroughs in New York. And it's sad that this is the kind of energy that now pervades, and we don't seem to be moving to a place where it gets better. But I also have to recall efforts when we were once discussing what we could do to curtail, to stem the violence. And we had the efforts by Dr. Gale. There was another man, Mr. Crooks. But it seems that the powers that be have either, I don't know if they're paralyzed, that they're unable to. I hate to think of the word ineptitude, but I also see a kind of indifference, if you will. Our politicians seem to like this conversation of, violence has gone down. And so then when they say that violence has gone down, that kind of thing, and then one person gets murdered, they are, but it went down. But no, a life is a life is a life. And when it happens, it is violence. It visits a trauma on the society, which I think eludes our leaders, and so I don't see that kind of effort like used to be, and a lot of our conversationalists have now gone on, so we're not seeing the kind of effort, the kind of investment to make sure that our society is better, because I see an ailing society. The violence has evolved, not only what we see on the streets, but it's also on social media. We're not addressing this issue in Belize, and it's hurtful to watch. But I will listen to your comments from here. I'm enjoying it. Thank you.
Renee, wait.
She's gone.
One of the things I appreciate the call, Renee, we need to look at as well, is the truth be told that the majority of these people are African descendants racialized as black. There are other groups of people, but the majority, when you look at Belize Central Prison, and it's disproportionate to the other demographics of people the groups of people who are in this country. So for me, I will always look upon it as the one continuation of enslavement, because the physical enslavement was a legal one when it was said that we got emancipated, but we're still mentally enslaved. And one of the points of interest for Pan-Africanists when we look at African reparations is that we cannot look at African reparations until the harm has stopped. And this is an evidence that the harm has not stopped. So you cannot talk about repairing something when it continues in other forms. So for me, especially when we talk about violence, the black people we talk about, specifically that my interests, they're my peoples, they're a priority for me. So I always look for whoever the administration in power, that when it comes to crime, this is a whole feel about black people. And again, they're not bringing the majority of the guns. We don't look upon the people and the actors on the ground, but there are always bigger players involved, and oftentimes than a bag of money people, inclusive of politicians, but then the story that make news. And then the story what we need for make news. They're not the kind of killers where got blood on their hand what we not see. And then even the media houses and how we report it. My goodness. This is somebody, baby, you grow up. Including the victims. I know they say right for take our life. I know they say right for rob people. It's wrong. But if we keep looking at the story as good people, bad people, this is our power day. So I've often said, and I've said it, I'm like, listen, Zinc Fence known for being the creators. We might not maintain the creation, but that we boss and everybody else follow. So I'm saying, even if we change how we report the news, I don't even mean that advertisers, they don't want advertise, because they don't want to advertise with anything. We got my name on it back as Zinc. But if in the news story we look for, okay, make we go back and say, even if I look past my word and say that I'm a notorious person, go back to their family, get pictures of one of them, they got us, find out about their whole being, not just the moment at it, because we're not just the moment of our lives, not just the moment when they become violent. What kind of human being were they? And then people would be surprised, okay, the story starts, it's our human interest story, okay. And then when they find out that that person will do this terrible thing, they're like, what? Because people could tell you, then people out the road where rightfully so got bad name, people will know that as human beings. It's like, man, I catch a taxi the other day with Mose, a taxi driver, and they share one story, and I'm like, that the same person that they talk about? Like the person what did a bad thing, and you found out their backstory, they were a good athlete, they were a good organizer, like that the same person that they talk about? There's so much more to a person who has done a violent act than at least seconds what we see on the news. So I really think we ought to humanize people. Tell backstories of how people become them people, eh? How them politicians done dirty, they never just done dirty carrying a politician. Somebody are like, man, for the legal, let me stay so, you know. But only just know them as adult politician, only just to see them on TV. So I really feel important, Mose, that we start humanize stories, that it's not just a 2 minutes news clip.
We have a call. You want to go on the show?
Yes.
You're live on the show.
Okay, morning. I'm so happy to hear you guys talk about this because everybody throw it under the rug. Politician, everybody, they behave like they're numb. Nothing happen in Belize. Belize is great. right?
Okay, so you could just do me one favor, though. Do me one favor, caller. Could you just lower your whatever you listen to the show upon and only listen to it on the phone? Give thanks.
Yes. Yeah. It annoying so much to me, the violence, that I start to dream about it. This is how much it get to me. And this is because I don't lost nobody in a violence, in a gun violence like that. Right? But politicians, before they get in, they have the solution. And when they get in, Belize is a nice place. With all what happen around them, it's nice. Nothing happening. So I want Belizean realize that Salvador never get up one day and be bad Salvador. Belize talk about, you know how long for years I hear Belizean they talk about only a handful of boy. Well, that handful of boy turn about 50 handful of boy from the time they talk about that one handful. You understand me? We have to do something about this. Belize get harder because of crime. One time I remember as a young girl, 12 years old, me and my grandmother used to walk away from Vernon Street, from Alexandra Street, back to Mahogany Street. 9:30 we'd walk. My granny would have stopped at Papito Pop. They buy potato pound. The only thing in the fair is the dog. You know hear a gunshot. My granny have a back stick for dog. Not for human being. So we gone. Belize, I don't want to say don't, I don't want to give up on my country. But if we don't get a hold of this, I don't know what will happen. I see one interview with Bukele, and now Bukele could boast and say Salvador gone from the worst country to the best country. And then vote the man back in. We have to stop putting people when don't have the interest of crime, because crime that the thing will bring down this country.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. You know that again, we love participation. I would love to hear people's point of view, because people's point of view enlighten and inform we. And I think when we hear your point, Sister Yaya, about to understand a thing, you have to go back into one thing, right? And you made an excellent point, that part of the issue is that, and you know, I've said this before, and the way how I have, before I go to break, I want to just, the way how I have framed it is that the media is going to do crime stories, and we are very good at doing it because it's a ready-made story. It's right there, or at least the portion that we will put that one moment in time. It's there before you. We have the beginning, the middle, and the end, and there is no need to go and explore. We don't feel obligated to go and explore. It's right there. There's nothing to investigate. Very often the police gives you all the information that's going to be a part of the story. You get the police is going to give you a song bite, an insert. It's going to give you the details. It happened at such a time, the name of the victim, the age of the victim, the location where it happened. Everything is right there to just be assembled into a 3 or 4 minutes report. So with our skill level, generally with the resources that are available for the various journalists, this works, right? And so just as how the entire enforcement apparatus preoccupies itself with this level of bad acting, let's describe it, this level of this is what the law enforcement, everything is designed to go and look for drugs and look for people who are on the streets in bad action. So it's kind of ironic that just, I believe it was last week, you hear that in 2024 the police department is planning to have some kind of financial investigative capacity. Sister Yaya, this is 2024, and what the Commissioner of Police says is that, but for that to happen, the legislation needs to be changed, because presently the police department cannot activate a branch that looks after financial. What we're saying here is, you're not going to find what you're not looking for. You're not going to find what you're not built to go look for. If you are only built to look for this is all you are preoccupied with, that's the only thing you are going to ever find. So just as how the street crime is so readily available and so readily reported on from the media standpoint, it is also what enforcement and security is the only thing they look at. So now, any higher level of bad acting, any higher tier of unlawful conduct has basically been that there is nobody looking for that, because it's 2024. And the police department, before there was a FIU, there was a police department. The FIU is a very recent creation when compared to, we have always had a police department. And it's 2024 and the police department has never had any capacity. It basically confessed to the fact that this is not a part of their mandate, and in fact, the laws, the very laws do not allow the police department to have been involved. So the only people that can look at that is your FIU. Your FIU don't have to meet you. Do you know who the FIU is? Has there ever been an FIU press conference? Do you know how many people are at the FIU? And I'm not trying to disparage the FIU. I'm trying to show you that for whatever reason, that's a for the most part invisible to the naked eye operation. We imagine, you, like with anything, you have people who care about what they're doing, because that's the nature of human beings. You're not going to have an entire unit and everybody there doesn't care. You're going to have people who care. But the point is that the system itself has not preoccupied itself with the fact that you can only be seeking the tips of the tentacles, because you are going to be clipping the tips of tentacles all you want. It's like clipping your fingernail and toenail. It comes back. Why does it come back? Because the nail is still there and the finger is still there, and it produces this. So we have been clipping nails from the day we're born. That's the way it works. So I use that analogy to say that's what we do. That's what they're designed for. It's all about clipping nails. Meanwhile, the very mechanisms, the very structures that eventually produces the pressure, the tension, the atmosphere of violence continues to exist. We have a situation where we are struggling with the capacity to deal with the fact that there was an operation that went awry at the highest levels of operators. We have real estate agents in Placencia. We have bodies. We have at least 2 or 3 bodies we know that have been killed as a result of an operation taking place at a high level, which is very unique that this thing comes out like this. But you can see the limitations in our capacity to really trail the play, to the point now where the police says, man, we will have to get in at the business of looking at people who are indulged in financial wrongdoing, which is okay. I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I am saying it's incredibly eye-opening, should be, that in 2024, that's what we are saying. In 2024, the police department is finally going to do that. In 2024, we didn't even know that the laws prevented. They actually have had a law They actually had a law that said police can't do that. That's even if you had one single officer that you send for train for look after, and even if there were uphill climb, the fact is that you had a department up until 2024 that not only did it not have any involvement in that, the very law said you can't be involved with that. That was like an incredible moment when I listened to that press conference and the commissioner was talking, and I was like, I mean, I knew they were never performing in this realm. I knew that they were never involved. I knew that you always had to, if something broke out, when the different scandals that have happened, whether the immigration scandal, whether the real estate, the fraud, whatever, they're always the last to the scene and not have much to say. And if we get information, this is not what they've been designed to do. And it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me that, you know, like, to have lived through that moment where that was basically acknowledged that, oh, and it was announced as if it was going to be a big thing. For me, it was kind of like, it's just another part of this, shameful structure that is supposed to be about creating a society that is stable and a society that is supposed to be functioning at a level where we are not existing in a state of violence. You cannot be so completely one-sided. You just preoccupied with where they go on with youths. You only preoccupied with where they go on our street with the blocks, as if though that the only kind of bad actions will exist within our society. So I think your point that you made is extremely well made. The sister brought up the president of Salvador, who is doing a victory tour. We can talk about that when we come back from break.
St. Catherine has changed the game. We've gone cashless with Digital Wallet. Now grabbing a bite in the cafeteria is a whole new experience.
Who needs cash? We just pay with Digital Wallet.
And all our accounts are linked directly to our ID cards. It's quick, safe, and super easy. Download and try Digital Wallet today. Set trends. Keep it cashless with Digital Wallet.
Let us help you to empower your school with DigiWallet. Streamline payments, elevate efficiency.
Power on with confidence. Design Depot brings you an attractive selection of GE appliances, including microwaves, washers, dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, countertop appliances, and more. We understand the importance of appliances that not only endure, but also excel in performance. As your trusted GE USA authorized dealer, we stand for reliability and performance, ensuring that you can power on with confidence. Visit us today and power on with efficient, reliable, and energy-saving solutions with GE appliances from Design Depot.
Design Depot, all in one place.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Prescription. What are the best place we go?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City. When the drugstore then close up the night and pan Sunday and holidays, which one open?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City. When you need somebody to talk to about your medication, who you are turn to?
Bam City. We have been serving the general public for more than 30 years with fast, professional, and efficient services. We will continue doing so with honesty, integrity, and consistency. This is the loyal Freetown Drugstore crew, always happily serving the general public at 28 Freetown Road, Belize City. Telephone 223-2876.
All right, welcome back. WB Wake Up Billy's Morning Vibes for today, Tuesday, the 25th of June, 2024. Mose in the house, along with reviews Sister Yaya Marin Kuhlman, who is also the chairperson of UBAD Educational Foundation. And as she will always remind us, that's the fourth member of the Zinc Fence group. And she's joining us this morning, as she did yesterday, because our main host, or anchor host of Wake Up Billy's Morning Vibes, Sister Katie Usher, is unwell, under the weather. But you know, we just wish her well. She gets better soon. So let me just quickly remind you folks that the telephone number for you to link with us is the WhatsApp number 6724770. Sister Yaya.
Yes, brother. There's something that was said in an earlier segment that I say I may come back to it. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Renee Colleen. She talked about the research that was done. So they don't matter that they don't have the evidence for say. I don't want deep admirer of Dr. Gale's research that he did with a team, inclusive of our star Maricel Amaya. People don't know all of Maricel's skills. Not take Maricel lightly.
Yeah, she just shared some information.
Huh?
You just shared with me a new SI which I didn't get a chance to read through to look at, and I'm trying to figure it out. But there's a SI number 93 and 94, and these are this is something that it looks like this is from June the 24th, and so this is a proclamation declaring a state of public emergency in certain parts of Belize City and certain parts of the Cayo district. So there's been a state of emergency that has been put in place, apparently. So thanks for sharing that, Marcel. So I guess there will be more said about that, and I'm just looking at it to see which particular areas, but parts of Belize City and parts of Cayo.
But
So-
that's my point precisely, Mose. These band-aid responses when there is a so-called flare-up, as opposed to there's evidence base that shows that this is everything is interconnected. This is not just for the burden, it's systemic issues. And I want to deep admire Dr. Herbert Gale's approach. Again, he did it with a team. Dr. Nelma Mortis Jones, I don't know if I got your last name there right, was instrumental in that process as well. Why isn't our state looking at a document like that, for example, and taking the recommendations, as opposed to keep doing these band-aids? And my only one of my sister bringing to my attention, my only conclusion is they don't care. They don't care about people. Because if they care about people, they may use the information, the knowledge, they may give an account of the money. So when you don't have no accounting of the public purse since 1981 in any meaningful way, that means people biggest come up right now for just get voted in politics. There's no accounting for a bag of money, and then the people suffer. When loans and grants and are given and there's no accounting, the people suffer. Social services tend to suffer. So you're talking about the quality of people's lives. So you look for food, clothing, and shelter, health care, unavailable, not having jobs that pay a living wages. People have to left their homes early in the morning. Families not intact. Families get broken up, couple, they go through the back for try get to. All these things are interrelated. So the only conclusion is the state not care, and then you have to blame the people like we keep to go vote. The CS that people lean over, we not care about we. So we have to look at the deeper issues. You know, a way we involve the people whose lives are most impacted. It's just
we live in a very we live in a time where like people they access all kind of information, right? And so while we I don't believe that any media place any commentary. But we have Carl. I have to deal with Carl's first. Me shut up instant, right? WB, good morning again.
Good morning, me again, Renee here. I will preface what I'm going to say by this quote, and I don't know how many recall this quote. Belizeans are not sophisticated enough to conceptualize certain things. Those words came from former Prime Minister of Belize, Dean Barrow, and Iname PUP hubris back in the day. My jaw dropped when he uttered those words in the House, and I was utterly offended. But I have come around to accept and appreciate the value of those words. And why I start that, and there was another essay as I was watching an ad for a mandala that I've looked for several times over. It's an essay by Evan X. Hyde about mediocrity. These two things parallel to me. I go on to say, that when you mentioned earlier about the violence being a black thing, I come from the school of Frantz Fanon, where he wrote and espoused in several of his books that not only colonization but slavery was violence. And this might be a question for another forum. That I agree that these conditions, these things that were visited upon blacks were violent, are violent. But when do we now say I am no longer a victim? When do we, and how do we fix it? It's a tall question. It's a tall one. We are in a quagmire of issues that are coming at us, because the violence is not only, like I said, what we see, witness in the news or on the streets. It is also in the way we are led. That when Belizeans can't get out and protest, as our democracy, as our constitution does allow the freedom of expression, when we can't protest, we have to seek permission from the very people that we are taking our protest about. We have to get that permission. We have to be watched. We have to be filmed. There are several things that to me are acts of violence. When you restrain people in a certain way from expressing from freely expressing, I think are acts of violence. And we have to understand, and we have to sophisticate ourselves to understand the dynamics that are coming at our little society. We will never grow any bigger than that 8,867 square miles. We have to figure out how to coexist. And I will stop there.
Okay. We will take a break to catch up because at 9 and 9, I don't want to see anything catch me with catch Phil yesterday. So we're going a break, come back, and you could respond, sister. So we take a break. We'll be right back.
The Office of the Prime Minister invites you to the National MSME Roadshow 2024. Join us for free workshops in marketing using AI, finance, business planning, and customer service. Connect with finance
sports.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's 8:37 Belize time. I know in the Belize Standard Time right now, at the Pacific time, as the states. But coming back soon. No, trust me, I know you look for apply for citizenship. We're back. The telephone number to call in is 672-4770. WB, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Top of the morning, good morning, yeah. Hey, just thought I'd give a call. I'm locked in to the conversation. Very interesting, very great topics. And I'm just calling to ask Mose one question.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, Big Wins. ATL in the house. Talk to me. What's the question?
Did you go ahead and purchase that In-N-Out burger or that Roscoe chicken and waffles yet?
No, sir. No, sir. I think I've been offered twice, but no, I have not. I think so. I am struggling with what I believe to be salmonella, which I got from before I even traveled. And if you understand salmonella, it is not something that goes away. It's not like just a regular. I don't want to go into my personal details, but so I've had a bad stomach now for at least 2 weeks, and so try to be very careful as I kind of get a little better. When I try take anything too risky, I go right down. In fact, it's been a rough morning, but we have to do what we do. It's been rough, I can tell you that. So I don't think that this one be. I don't think I'm going down the route. I go your recommendation, and I don't even know. And none that I don't know. Then I know the kind of food for 53-year-old they consume. Okay.
I understand. Well, maybe when you feel better, you might have a cheat day.
Yeah, well, I know. God, I know to tell you I know cheat. I know to tell you that I know. I know to tell you that I had that I had any good example of eating healthily. I am conscious, and the things I try to avoid, but our palates have been programmed, unfortunately, for salt, sugar, and grease, and so especially when we're stressed out, we make very poor choices because we need a dopamine hit. So we can go into my deep understanding of why we make some of these choices that we make. Because when we're stressed out, we'll try to give a hit. We'll try to feel good, and so we make bad choices. The only thing we make, we get a dopamine, that's sugar, salt, grease. So
I do understand.
So you want really recommend for me that go get some dopamine.
Well, you know what? You might just go get a nice salad. How about that?
No dopamine in that though. Good for me, but no dopamine. No dopamine. Yeah.
I understand. Hey, Mose, I had a couple of my friends that attended the summit, and they were appalled, and the intake was tremendous and very positive. I got some great feedback, and they really enjoyed the summit and said it was very, very interesting. So kudos to the panel. And
you said they were appalled. I think maybe you wanted that you use another term because.
Well, meaning, no. What I meant to say is that the feedback was very, very positive.
Yeah.
They learned a lot.
All right.
And my only thing is that for us here in the diaspora, we want to have more input of what's happening back home, and we want to be able to utilize our rights to be able to vote in the near future. We are very, very concerned with the crime situation back home. Asking for youths to put down the guns, and we do understand all this, the feedback that EIA has said to as well, that you have to eat. There's no jobs. There's no left or right turn. So it's a very tough situation. But we're praying for all the best for our youth back home.
All right, my brother. Give thanks for your call. And I understand Brother Will is trying to get in. Will, you know the number, even without I have to put it out there. So I am hearing you, Cliff. Cliff, I'm hearing you. Cliff, I am hearing you. I am hearing Cliff in the. I don't know if it's going into the broadcast, but I'm hearing Cliff. Thanks. All right, Sister Yaya.
Yes,
I am hearing Cliff. I don't know you.
I'm hearing him as well. Harlan. I'm still hearing him.
Yeah. So.
All right. Harlan should. I think he took care of it. Yes, it is a bigger conversation, and the one conversation what we need to keep having, but not just to have it. We've had these conversations before. They're like you're just the top. There's no connection between credible, knowledgeable community members and people in government who are willing to humble themselves and say, no, we don't know everything. We know to do it right. Make we get community involvement in a meaningful way. And until the state come to that level of awareness, I'm giving you an example. UEF started African Emancipation Day 11 years ago. The state jumped on in 2021 and become a public and bank holiday. UAF will not work with the state because they're not credible people. And until the state show that they're credible, we're not willing to work with them in any meaningful way. But that's something where the community started. So the state can't just come on a couple years later and they want to lead things, they know no. So a perfect example. You could join with UEF, understand that UEF, they lead this process. That you have to change your behavior, how you engage UEF. And until the state come to their realizations and do it in an action consistently, this is what we're there. Because they think they know everything because they get elected. They don't think you should hold them accountable.
Can I just throw this in there, sister, because of time? You said we've always had these conversations, but these conversations are very important, and I was trying to make the point why. Because people are receiving information from a wide range of sources. So even though I don't know of any major media house doing any kind of significant presentation or story on what has taken place in El Salvador and its president Bukele, a number of our people know what is going on in Salvador. And remember that we do have a significant population of descendants and people who are from Salvador, in fact, who participated in the election from Belize. So it's not just what they're able to see on YouTube. And Bukele has now become a celebrity and is doing a victory parade. And so people, so the point is that you cannot, if you don't have the conversation, what you have is people just knowing, looking at one side of the story. And indeed, in his country, Bukele is very popular and is getting hero treatment. So now our people are not, even though nobody in the media, WB, XTV, we're not going to do a documentary exalting Bukele. We don't take a position of celebrating Bukele. But people look at Bukele, who essentially his formula is essentially to, let's forget about human rights. We are just going to lock all of you up. We're going to build. He's the right wing dream boy. He just build the biggest prisons and essentially stuff a bunch of what they deem as all the different gang actors and just lock them up. And then now is, I watched his interview with Tucker Carlson, who is this major right-wing journalist from the United States of America, who traveled all the way to El Salvador to sit down with him and to essentially be a fanboy, just ladder the man in the whole thing. Oh my goodness, what can we learn from you? You have done such a great work. And he's then quoting all the statistics about Salvador moving from being the most violent country on the planet, the highest murders per capita, to now statistically again they have reduced that situation for now, and it has worked. And so now people have access to that information, and so the reason why these conversations, even though they are, we have had them so many times, that doesn't take away from the fact that it's important for us to engage so that people can hear our viewpoints and what we feel, and also to acknowledge that, yeah, you are hearing about this guy, but hear the other version of that, which I think we have not done. But as the sister called in, and she raises the Bukele, the Belizeans every day, then they hear about Bukele, then they read about Bukele, and the people that tell them about Bukele, they have success in taking care of the quote-unquote bad guy. So I think that is proof to why these conversations are a necessity.
Excellent point, Mose. Excellent point. I agree. And if sometimes I take one deep breath, you get weary or one night. Like, we're not going to listen to what ask people. And I don't have Sunday Review Facebook page anymore. But that was one of the reasons I Sunday Review's Facebook page is most of the media where people, Belizeans, consume, most of it is what we call right wing. It's colonized news. It's not substantive news. So I tell people, imagine you come to Belize and you only listen to PUP Media House or UDP Media House, and that's all you listen to, and you left thinking, well, that's not what Belize about. Now imagine you never listen to Zing. and then you listen to Zinc. And when you listen to Zinc, that one total different takeaway than if you may listen to the political media houses. That's how I tell everyone to listen to corporate colonial media, and then they listen to media from the people, of the people. And when I had Crimson the Review Facebook page, that's what that page was primarily about. Alternative media. To say, I know the telling believe everything we want to, just listen to different outlets from the people with the telling this stuff we reality. We live that Salvador. We people and they got missing. This is the violation what happened, but there another story where under the head and it's stifled their story and then they got one single narrative and under the buy into it and believe it, and I decided to Belize and Belizeans. We don't have a responsibility, the people that want to consume the news, for choose which media house to listen to, for think for themselves before they open them out and start to support one process where they violate people. We don't want Bukele mindset that Belize. We don't need that Belize. We don't know we want problems with leaders who think they have the answers to everything and are genuinely care about people. So until it happened to we, then we are saying no, that's what we want to go with. So I agree with you, Mose. And
But
one morning when
the state of emergency thing is not the book, but it's definitely a page. It's a Bukele page. It's that's what it is, right?
Again, that is a human rights violation. It's a band-aid response. It's not in the best interest of us. So that we the community know, this is upon we know. How much time we not say state of emergency? How much time the body counts they go up? The majority of people of Belize Central people are black people. The majority of people of Belize, they're not black people. They're not only black people that commit crime. So there are lots of other backstories that we need to pay attention to, and then we the supporting with enough we best interest. The more knowledge we have, the more we be true to ourselves, we could come up with our own solutions, but we have to hold the state accountable for the state on a consistent and not the right by we. The enslavement of African people was by the state. It was a legal, so it's not because something legal, not because them pass one SI, mean that it's ethical or that it's right. But again, like I said yesterday, was people in their everyday life. People now got the time, the energy, the mental space, the bandwidth, so that the other people that whether I get paid for it, majority of the work I do, I don't get financial payment for it, that I'm calling, that for make connections with them big issues with people everyday life in a meaningful and dignified way, and for continue hold the state accountable. And until the state humble themselves, oftentimes only when you vote that the numbers they look on, one time people come for your vote that then you say, yo, remember when you may say so and so? Remember when you're gonna make this law? Remember when you never have no meaningful conversation? And but we have to do it as a block of people. So if people who identify as African people would I be honest with themselves and say, you know what, it ain't enough we best interest for you, say you the Garifuna and you the Creole and you look after your own interests. I wanna go travel about and sign paper and not tell nobody nothing. That ain't the interest of African descendants visualized as black people. For we downfall is that we're not unified. But we cannot be unified if we're not honest with ourselves and we make one effort as individuals and then as communities to live one ethical life in the interest of we and for we community. This one continue to happen.
Where can people, again, I know you've done this multiple times, but I think on other issues, but where can people find the other side of the Salvador miracle, which, you know, that's how it's being characterized. So, you know.
Okay, so counterpunch the one of my credible sources.
Great site.
It hard to just say just off of the top of my head.
We got to go to a final break. Come back and maybe, we throw that out. All right, give thanks.
Here's how to be a part of Benny's Homecation in 3 easy steps. First, download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy. Then, shop at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Remember to choose products from our monthly Homecation jackpot categories to earn entries. Now you can earn V-Bucks with purchases made and be a part of the Benny's Homecation Jackpot for a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize in December. Win the ultimate homecation with Benny's, quality and savings.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Welcome back to the WB, the Zoom edition of the WB, with myself, Mose, and Sister Yaya Marine Kuman from Sunday Review. And we are out of time, but before we do, Sister Yaya.
I have 3 independent sources that you can get news from about what's happening in Salvador, and those are Black Agenda Report, Prensa Comunitaria, and Counterpunch. So check those Black Agenda Report, Prensa Comunitaria, and Counterpunch. You could just put that in your search engine, put in Salvador President, read again, think, and then reason with people what are reasonable people, because not everybody are reasonable people. Some people just stuck on, they don't want to hear nothing, they're into that, and then you just left them people alone so they're not tired yourself.
So yeah, thank you very much for pinch hitting for Sister Katie this morning as she recovers. I think she's going to be off tomorrow as well, based on the medical recommendation. So I can ask you in advance so I don't get somebody, not going to claim and go to something as amazing as go check Brazil play Costa Rica, and I had to align myself with the region yesterday, CONCACAF, Central America.
I'll be in studio tomorrow. Remember, only the people who are saved the people.
Thank you to the crew, making sure that things flow, even though we are not in-house. The Cliff, the glue, the old guy, and Harlan Wagner directing in the control room. Larry G, 9 and 9 Larry G, so you know that the respect. That's the Larry G slogan, He needs to, apparently, Sister Katie said 9 and 9 because the man they run for go get fried jack from some place or the other. So that is the backstory behind 9 and 9, right? I know the story a little bit different, but I'm not going there that way. When I left it that way. Just give thanks. We are done for this morning, but with health and strength, we'll be back tomorrow morning. And of course, once we got internet, the Zoom, the work, no problem. We're on. As always, stand strong, stand firm. But no, we're gone.
Wake up, Billies. 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 Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show by people. Billies our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. This divide we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people.